Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Rob. This is Shannon, Sarayu. We are Team Tradeways, and we are crafting the future. Despite a pervasive emphasis on attending college, the majority of young adults won't enroll or attain a degree. The social and financial divestment in vocational pathways over the last half century has bred worse health and socioeconomic outcomes, which as well as a burgeoning skills gap in the United States. In college-bound young adults, non-college-bound young adults bear greater rates and severity of mental health challenges, as well as lower access to resources, which has led to an increase in disease and deaths of despair over time. And as interest in trade pipelines has waned, a significant shortage of skilled tradespeople has emerged. This has wide-ranging implications, specifically as we invest in modernizing and electrifying our nation's infrastructure. Demand will further outstrip supply, curbing our ability to meet climate change and economic security goals. Trade careers provide a great opportunity for upward mobility, sometimes more so than college. So, what's the hangup? Our research revealed that vocational programs suffer from appearing outdated and are too often tough to discover. We feel that trade pathways, we feel that pathways to skills that pay the bills need to be made more accessible, relevant, and desirable. And that dismantling these negative perceptions requires greater community visibility and sustained knowledge sharing.
Of the 53 high school students that we surveyed, not one student indicated planning to even pursue a trade pathway. Most plan to either attend a 2 or 4 year college. But statistics suggest that this is very unlikely. Most students indicated financial security, property attainment, and having a family as their primary motivations for going to college rather than interest in academia instead. Historically, these have been more congruent with vocational education compared to rather with college objectives. And the majority, but the majority haven't even been exposed to career technical pathways. So, how can we speak directly to young people's desires and in turn better equip them to make an informed decision about pursuing a career in trades?
Our answer is Tradeways, a free bridge resource and community network connecting young adults to meaningful careers in the skilled trades. We are an Oakland-based based pilot program designed to raise awareness of the opportunities inherent to skilled trades and energize pathways to employment in them. In partnership with regional industry, our services include exposure to a diverse set of local skilled job pipelines through hands-on workshops with industry mentors and a peer-to-peer ambassador program. By fostering a visible and forward-looking community of trade-bound folks, young people can confidently pursue a trade career with a sense of pride and achieve greater upward mobility. With 2 to 3 student ambassadors at each of the following schools, we stand to reach nearly 25,000 young people at Oakland Technical High, Oakland High School, and Laney Community College. Our core user will be young people aged 14 to 22, those who prefer hands-on learning or whose circumstances may require an alternative way up in life. Ancillary stakeholders include parents and counselors, industry partners, and government leaders.
Hey, I'm Misha. I graduated from Oakland Tech last year. Honestly, I was struggling to find a job and was feeling pretty down about my prospects at that point. So I decided to take a few classes at Laney, but I just wasn't sold on the whole college thing and was stressed about the money. Anyway, I was on campus one day and met a student from Tradeways. After chatting for a bit, he invited me to a workshop at the Fab Lab, said they'd be learning to make some stuff on the milling machines and meeting some career mentors. He was cool, so I ended up going, and honestly, I loved it. It was the opposite of everything I didn't like about school. I ended up joining the Laney Tradeways chapter and through another workshop met Rosa, a Port of Oakland mechanical supervisor. She told me about their mechanical technology apprenticeship and encouraged me to apply. I did, and with her recommendation got accepted. Now your girl is almost done with her first year on the job. After the apprenticeship, I'll be eligible to become an associate machine operator, which comes with a significant raise. I'm so happy that I found the Tradeways community and just want to encourage y'all to check them out too.
All right, so our ambassadors, or trade stars as we call them, are select students from our partnering campuses. They are paid to act as an authentic and trusted conduit, promoting and connecting fellow peers to our programming. Trade stars facilitate the sense of community needed to dispel stigma and build desirability. The community is made visible through student-generated content and branded and informational collateral. Trade stars and chapter members use personal social media accounts to share Tradeways content with guidelines including promoting upcoming workshops, associated experiences, and importantly, personal accomplishments. We also intend to pursue paid campaigns with trade and local influencers. Informational material is forward-looking, reflecting the contributions and advancements associated with skilled trades, allowing young people and their families to visualize pathways and potential. Our workshops are co-designed with and taught by industry partners, offering participants the opportunity to learn applicable skills and build community and mentor relationships. We've identified several potential partners and stakeholders, like the Port of Oakland, which has numerous programs to earn while you learn and accounts for 50,000 local jobs, with salaries ranging from $60,000 to upwards of $200,000. Spaces like the Fab Lab at Laney College offer access to advanced equipment, and funding opportunities include private and government grants. We've also built in brand sensibilities and incentives to further address the need for desirability and community visibility. Branded apparel and a student-milled multi-tool that tap into a revival workwear aesthetic reclaimed by younger generations will be awarded for participation and achievement. We feel that it would cost roughly $120,000 to launch the pilot program for a year, with the largest cost being paying our student ambassadors. Prize money from this challenge would help to provide greater and healthier longevity for numerous young people and provide a roadmap for addressing an issue of nationwide importance. Thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you for the presentation. I have a quick question. You talked at the beginning about the mental health benefits of this proposal. Can you explain a little more what that is, please?
Yeah, I think that in our research, we found that people who were not college bound just had lower access to financial, social, and health resources, which has negative consequences from a mental health standpoint and a longevity standpoint. So they're suffering from greater rates of diseases and deaths of despair over time than people who are attending college and have, accumulated wealth, essentially.
I think you mentioned it there at the end, but in my mind, I'm trying to balance the awareness that you were talking about. We're raising awareness of the trades and actually overcoming some of the stigmas of blue collar jobs or skilled trades that you talked about. So I think I heard that your ambassadors are really responsible for that, but can you clarify a little bit for me? Like, how do you balance your tool being raising awareness versus actually overcoming some of the stigmas to just get them interested in the first place to come to your tool?
Yeah, I think the idea is that community visibility, so people who are a diverse set of people who are forward looking, they're peers, they're people you relate to, they're authentic, and that seeing people who are interested in the trades and pursuing it intentionally is enough to break stigma and build desirability, because at the end of the day, I think people just want to feel like they belong.
And also tapping into the workwear aesthetic that is on in the same vein as what we're trying to accomplish, and just finding relatable, relevant, peers that can be the voice to be able to recruit and fully embody it, and having them as the interface to really help persuade, get their peers into into a career in the trades.
Thank you so much for this. Can you share a little bit more about your scaling plan once successful?
So I think that there is room to grow, scale up a little bit regionally, so grow to include more of the schools within the Oakland school districts. But the idea is that really this affords us the opportunity to scale through replicability. So industry is regionally specific. The problem calls for a hyper-local approach. And so for broader impact, this model can be replicated in other regions, modifying for specific economic and social circumstances. And we also feel that it might be able to be sort of adopted and modified by schools themselves.
Two questions. One is the viability of someone just trying a trade versus committing to it, and just sort of how long that process is. And then two, if you could just talk about, and I'm sorry if I missed it, are you intending to be a for-profit organization or not, and just how you would generate revenue going forward?
Yeah. So we are not for profit. The service is free, and its intention is to not make money. But we do our ancillary stakeholders are local industry governments who we sort of consider funding partners because we're selling them a more robust tax base and future workforce to sort of fill that skills gap and allow them to sustainably grow. And so we do feel that like funding could come from them. And then if it were a long-term project, maybe like alumni of the program would want to support, but it is a nonprofit model. And then sort of the feasibility, do you mind reframing that or repeating the question, the first one?
Well, perhaps it's just a lack of knowledge of why folks don't go into the trades. But if there's the assumption that if I try to go into, electric trade, that I need to invest a certain amount of time to be an apprentice, is there the ability for someone to experiment with trying something
Yes, and
versus?
so part of our business model is to have workshops that are lined up from industry leaders through Laney College. And so students can go get their hands dirty with the tools of that trade to kind of understand if that's the right career for them. So without, fully committing to diving into said field, they can kind of go see what, a welder's like, or, the tools of being an electrician or a carpenter. And yeah, that's sort of their introduction before they get to dive in.